Hi, everybody, and welcome back to On the DL. I am so excited about my guest today. I've been tweeting about it and posting about it because I have wanted to speak to this woman here, Cheryl Hickey, for months and months. She probably thinks I'm stalking her, or that I have a massive girl crush on her, which is all true.
Mutual.
But I am so happy that you're here. You are such an extraordinary person, and we're going to talk all about it and the reasons why I just adore you so much. So Cheryl, thank you for coming on the DL.
Oh my goodness, thank you for having me. I have been, listen, it's mutual admiration, right back and forth.
That's nice of you. So we're going to have a little love fest, which is
Yes.
good. I love a good girl love fest.
Me too.
And I'm always into the girl crush because I think that it's real. I think, the generation, our kids' generation, or maybe a little bit older than us, don't understand what that actually means. But it is about admiration for other women, and particularly women in our industry.
Yeah.
It's I have so much respect for women like you who have been working for years and
We're
decades.
old. Are you saying who's old? Is that
No, I'm not saying old. I'm saying like we're still going at it because we believe in it, right? And we just keep doing it. I mean, I love all the new faces and I think that's wonderful too, but I have a lot of respect. And so I have much respect for you. I love your work. I remember us decades ago in the field.
Right? Yes.
Do you remember us?
Yes, I do. I do remember those days. I was talking with someone recently about that because when I came to Toronto, I was a cameraman, either way. And I remember there were some people who were super welcoming, and there were some people who were not about seeing a woman being a camera person in the field. And so that was a big awakening for me, for sure. So it was everyone just assumes that it was super easy getting to this point, and it has been anything but, that's for sure.
I remember seeing you. We were covering the air show. I saw you many times in the field, but this one, I wrote to you about it because I remembered this specifically, that you showed up with your massive camera and you were shooting, and I'm sitting on a comfortable chair. That the camera person I was working with got me this nice, comfortable chair, and you're just in it, right? You've got the camera on. No, you weren't sweating. It was hot out. You weren't sweating, but you were wearing these like fabulous heels and you look gorgeous. And I was thinking, wow, like she's the best looking camera person I've ever seen in my life. No, the truth.
No. What you didn't see is right before I got out of the car, me trying to brush my hair because it was all out like this and I'm sweating. It was, I remember that those days. I mean, I was in the best shape of my life back then because camera gear was much heavier. The battery packs were much heavier. You carried the tripod and all of the gear. But it was really hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of things to consider, a lot of moving parts, right? You have to figure out what you're going to be shooting. You have to figure out the story as you're shooting it, then what you're going to say. Then if you're going to interview someone, there were a lot of pieces to it for sure.
Can I read your bio first? And then I want to get into just into the progression of your incredible career.
Sure.
Okay. So for all of you who don't know who Cheryl Hickey is, which I can't imagine, but let's just say, so Cheryl is the host of Entertainment Tonight Canada. Cheryl Hickey delivers breaking news coverage, in-depth profiles, and behind-the-scenes exclusives to viewers each night. Cheryl graduated from London's Fanshawe College with a broadcast journalism degree, working in a variety of radio and television roles before joining ET Canada for its launch in 2005. While busy interviewing the most powerful celebrities in Hollywood, including Ryan Reynolds, Taylor Swift, oh my gosh, Brad Pitt, and the Queen Oprah, just saying, Cheryl still finds time to give back, working closely with sick kids and Plan International Canada. In 2019, Cheryl was named as host of HGTV Canada's new feel-good renovation series, Family Home Overhaul. Cheryl is the founder of Cheryl's Home and Family, a company she began to create a space that will support all types of families through connectivity, comfort, and practical solutions. Cheryl's Home and Family focuses on creating innovative, safe, and exciting products that will benefit the whole family, from babies, young children, grandparents, pets, and more. Whoa, you are busy. You know, I, honestly, I have to say this. One of the many things that I love about you is how raw and honest you are, and embracing being glamorous and having a glamorous job, but being all woman all the time. And I love that because a lot of people can't do that. They're either one or the other. And you're all of it. How do you do that?
Well, I don't think I have a choice because that is what it is. And I think I actually struggled a lot in the beginning of ET Canada back in 2005 with that whole very glossy, perfect hair in place. You know, while that was my job, I really struggled with people thinking like that was how I rolled, because it wasn't in my everyday life. Yes, I did travel to LA and we did these really glamorous, fun and special things. But when I came home, it was much different, right? So I really, but for the very beginning of our show, they wanted us to really paint that picture. And I was like, and then certainly when social media came to be, I felt like that was a place where people could really just see what it is and who I am. And I'm not for everybody. And I know that, that's fine. But if you can identify with some of the struggles and some of my journey, then that's great. So I think that there's just not really a choice. It's just really what is. It would be too hard to fake it the other way and to pretend that it's super glamorous and on point all the time. And that would be exhausting for sure.
Well, I think it is exhausting for a lot of people. That's why they're so burnt out, right?
Yeah.
Because they're just pretending to be something that they're not, or maybe that's what they are. They're just trying to live that, right? Maybe that's not who they are at their core, but that's the shell that they let the world see.
Yeah. I mean, I love this job with all of my heart, and I still get excited to do it every day, and it's very fun, but it's not all of me. There's the I'm a daughter, I'm a wife, I'm a friend. There's so many other parts that are, you know, really important too. So yeah, I can't just be one thing.
So before we get into all of that, I want to know about the progression of your career. You went from a camera person, videographer, because you were reporting, right?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, I came to Toronto. I was a camera woman at the New Yarnberry, and I'd had a small segment in the middle of a soap opera. They had this like little, I think it was like 5 minutes in the middle of a soap opera, and the program director said, "Do you think you could fill it?" And I was like, "Yeah." Meanwhile, no clue. And I went and talked to the maintenance man and said, "Do you have an area where I can build a set?" He's like, "Yeah, we have an old makeup room behind the SAT trucks." I'm like, "Perfect." So I went and found some paint. And I painted it one night. I remember till like 3 a.m. I painted it purple. And like 2 days later, we started this segment called Lather Up with Cheryl Hickey. I did not want it to be named that, but someone picked that. And then my dad was so angry that that was my first foray into television. But all to say, so I'd had, you know, shooting camera and a little bit of on air. And then a gentleman by the name of Paul Rogers called and said, "I've heard from another cameraman that you're really good at what you do, blah, blah, blah. I'd like to come and meet you." And I was like, "You want to come meet me?" So he drove up. Yeah, he drove up to Barrie and we met at a coffee shop. And I remember I went and bought a new pinstripe suit. It was maroon colored from Le Chateau.
Oh, I love it.
Right? And I was so excited. I was like, I'm professional. I'm dressing the part of a Toronto businesswoman. So I get in there and he's like, "What do you want to be?" And I'm like, happy. I don't know. Like, I love the industry. I'm curious all the time. I got into the business because there's so many different jobs. So I'm just on a journey right now. And then within a week, he offered me the job as a videographer and a cameraman up in the helicopter. Amazing. And I said, "Thank you. I'll have to think about it." I almost I was petrified because I'd never driven in Toronto. I'd never lived in Toronto. because I grew up in Owen Sound. We came here once a year, maybe, to see the CN Tower. So I had no concept. Like, it felt very scary to me. So I wasn't going to take the job. And I remember the anchor at the time, his name is Lance Chilton, said to me, kiddo, if you don't take this job, this will be the biggest mistake of your life. Like, you have to take the leap. And I'm like, but I don't know if I'm ready. Like, I've never really been on air. Like, I don't. And he's like, no. You're going to put all the things together that you've learned over the years. You've worked in radio, you've worked in TV. Now you're just going to pull it all together. So I actually went to my then boss and said, I don't think I'm going to take this job, but if you want to put me on air here in Barrie, I'd like to stay. And he said, because I'd been giving him my audition tapes for a while, and he said I didn't have what it took. And he said to me, we will give you Sunday night at 11 o'clock, and you can put one story on a week. And then we'll, that can be what we can do for you. And I actually contemplated taking it because I believed so much of what he was saying, that I wasn't good, that I wasn't ready, that I wasn't all the things. So then I took the job because Lance was like, no, you've got to do it. There were a couple others who were really helpful too. And I had 2 weeks until I was going to leave to go to this job. And my then boss called me into the office, and this is a very different time, right? We've all been through kinds of things. And he proceeded to yell at me for, was almost 45 minutes. I remember I had my head down, looking at my watch, and his secretary was in the room. And I remember him clear as day saying, I've made you who you are. And I just remember being like, but I'm not anyone. I just started. But that's how unsure of myself I was. And I was just like,
wow.
And he said, we have to let you go. You can't finish your 2 weeks here because you're disruptive. People are too focused on your new job. So he escorted me out, not letting me grab my purse. And I had to leave.
Not letting you grab your purse?
Nope.
I can't believe this story. I had no clue that our chat was going to take a turn.
I've never told this story, to be honest.
I'm so honored.
Sorry. But the reason I'm telling this story is because I think my whole, and I only think about telling this story as I get older, because I think it's important for younger people to hear. There will be people who say you don't have it. I've been told more times no than I've been told yes. It just so happens that I've had a couple of yeses that have really hit it. But I've had more no's and more you don't have it and more disappointments than I can shake a stick at. And that one was really rough because I was, like I said, I was paraded out in front of all my coworkers. I was bawling, thinking, now I've made the biggest mistake of my life. I won't be able to do this job. And it was like I wanted to stay, but I knew it was bad for me, but I wanted to stay. So anyway, all to say.
Can I ask you, did you ever speak to that boss ever again?
There was one time a couple years ago in Toronto where he was upstairs doing an interview somewhere where I was, and someone came down and said, would you like to come and say hello to so-and-so and so-and-so? And he was one of them. I said, no, thank you. And
good for you.
What do I say? What would I say? He knows, I know. His secretary knows because she was in the room. So, and she was lovely, by the way. She was amazing. I felt so bad.
I'm sure.
She was so upset.
I'm sure.
And I was a bawling disaster. But all to say, coming to Toronto, I came as a shell. Like, I was nervous, scared. When you talk about it being your first day at school, it was more than my first day at school. I'd never driven on the 401 or the DVP. I was living in Barrie, so my shift was 3:30 to 11:30. So I was driving in and driving out at night in the dark and just terrified, So rolling into that job, it was really like putting a mask on and being like, fake it till you make it, kid. Like, let's go. You said you wanted this. Be careful what you wish for.
Right.
So it was really that. Yeah, it was hard.
And how many years were you doing that for before you landed?
Yeah, so that was 1999. And I came to ET Canada in 2005. And when
You were global in 1999?
Yeah, I've been here since 1999.
Because I started at SIFTO formerly
Yeah,
CFTO,
yeah,
so CTV
yeah.
Toronto, in 2000. I thought we started at the same time. Okay, so
Just
the,
1 year, but yeah,
I know, but I remember seeing you for the first time and feeling like you were new because I
still.
was, no, but I was so enamored by you. That's what I'm saying. When I saw you, I was like, look at her. Like, wow. It was really,
I don't see that. It's
I
funny.
know it's hard when someone says that to you and you're put in that spot. And I don't mean to do that, but
No,
it's the truth. And on the DL, we say everything out loud. You know,
yeah.
we just lay it out, or I try to lay it out because it's the truth. And I remember when you started ET Canada, and ET itself was one of my favorite shows. As a young adult, I loved ET. I was obsessed with ET. I watched it every night from 7 to 7:30. It was my thing. And when you became host of the show, I remember watching at the beginning and thinking, yes, this is the right fit. This is awesome. This is what Canada needs. And it's worked.
But it didn't start out that way. Do you know the story of how I got the job?
What did it have to do with Paul?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Paul Rogers was the one who came and met me in Barrett.
Yes.
He's just such a wonderful man, and he changed my life for sure.
Mine too.
Yeah, right. You too?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, some good stories, some wonderful stories, some not so wonderful stories, but I have, yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay. I want to hear that today. So yes. So I'd gotten wind that, how did this go? I remember one day pitching upstairs that again, using the burgundy suit, because I remember I used the burgundy suit.
Oh yeah,
And
we all
my
power
wood
suits.
and I had a little pitch, and I went up straight upstairs. This is when you're so young that you have no fear. So I went right up to the bosses, and I was like, I'd like to be the Canadian correspondent for Entertainment Tonight. And they're like, right. A few years go by. I get a story that they're talking about doing an entertainment show, and I'm like, this is amazing. And I was working in news at the time, and so I applied. And at the time, we didn't know it was Entertainment Tonight. We know nothing. So I did a couple of reads and all that kind of stuff. And about a week later, they came back and said, you're not exactly what we're looking for. We don't want someone that people know. Because at that time, I was known as the chopper girl, because I was the camerawoman, chopper, and all that stuff. And, your blonde hair, blue eyed, that's just not what we're looking for. And I was like, what are you going to do? I was like, okay. It hurt. I was sad about it. But I also knew that I'd sort of went from hard news to kicker stories, which I love. I think they're so great, to entertainment, doing the entertainment beat, that I knew I needed a change. So when they said to me that I wasn't going to get the job, I went immediately and did the logical thing and booked a vacation to Australia to see a boy.
I love it.
Right? A boy I'd met in Mexico. Super responsible. Really good idea. But anyway.
I love it.
Yeah. And so I did that for 3 weeks. I went there for 3 weeks and sort of just kind of reevaluated what am I doing? Where are we going here? Because I knew, that feeling when something percolates in your belly and you're like, it's time for change.
Oh yes.
So I came back and I felt rejuvenated and fresh. And I was working and I was sitting in my cubicle and I kept seeing these beautiful models and sportscasters and all these tall, very gorgeous people walking through. And I'm like, yeah, no kidding. I'm not what you want. Cause they would have to walk by my desk to go audition. And I was like, yeah. Which, I'm in the building. So I'm going to see who's coming in to audition. So I was like, yeah, no, I get it. Based on who was coming in, I was like, I'm not that. So I'm not 6 foot, whatever.
Oh.
So, then I got a call asking to come downtown to one of the offices. It was a legal office downtown. And I thought, oh, they're just being nice. They just want to tell me officially that I didn't get the job. So I remember talking to my mom, and I remember it was raining and I was driving down the DVP, and she's like, listen, I know you're really passionate about this. I'm a person, if I get angry or really sad, I'll cry. You can, either one, for no reason. And I was sad about it. And she's like, no, just know that there's something else coming. Like, this isn't yours. You've just got to move on. I was like, okay, and so I'm driving down, get in there, go all the way up to the top. And I remember sitting in this boardroom and there was a beautiful skyline. And I remember looking at Barb Williams, but looking past her so that I wasn't like focused on her eyes. Cause I was like, this is going to be terrible. So I have to be like a good actress. And then all I heard was, host of our entertainment show. Would you like to be the host of our entertainment show? And I was like, and then they said, it's going to be called Entertainment Tonight. It's the Canadian version. And your co-host is going to be Rick Campanelli, who I watched every Sunday on my couch after a night out with my McDonald's when we watched like the video reviews, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. And all she could say was, are you okay? Because I guess my look on my face and I couldn't speak because that was the last thing I expected. And so then the rest, as they say, is history. And it was like we were shot out of the cannon from that point.
And I love how you can recall every moment and how you felt decades ago. And doesn't that continue to fuel you now that you go to that place? It's still raw. Like, you remember how it felt when you were told, we'd like you to be the host of our new entertainment show, the host of a nationwide entertainment show, groundbreaking, never been done before, host. And you still remember that to this moment. And I love that you do.
Yeah, and you know what I also remember? That moment, coupled with the moment when I got the job offer to come to Toronto, are very similar. Because in that moment, I was like, I don't think I can do this. And in this moment, I was like, in my brain, as she's saying all these things, I've never read a teleprompter. I've never hosted a show. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be out there with Rick. And what if I can't hold my own beside him? That's what was going on in my head.
For sure. But fear, if you doesn't
greatest motivator, right?
Exactly. That's incredible. When I received the call to get the job at CTV way back in the day, I fell down a flight of stairs.
Stop.
On my bum. Slid right down. On my bum. I even thinking about it, my tailbone hurts. I was so freaked out. I was so freaked that I went boom, 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 boom down the stairs. Yeah. So I understand that feeling that, and it stays with you, right? It stays. And it's an incredible feeling to have that. Yeah. I want to talk about something. There's two things of late that you said on social media, because I follow you every single day. You're one of my people. I do.
You are too. You're one of my people with your dog and your kids. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. That's nice of you. Thank you. Yeah. I really am obsessed with my puppy. I really am.
Love him, though. I wanted a retriever so badly.
Yeah. But Buddy's beautiful.
Yes. Buddy's beautiful. I love Buddy and I love Murphy. And now I want another one. I want a retriever, but it's too many.
It's a lot, and it's a lot of hair. It's a huge responsibility. It's all of that. But you said something on a TikTok video that I love. You said, women are like dough. When we rest, we rise. Oh my, Cheryl.
Yeah, but I
real good one.
I only realized that recently. We get pulled and we get smacked and we get moved around and all those things like a piece of dough. And I don't mean physically, I mean emotionally. All the time we're pulled into one direction and moved into another direction and all that sort of thing. But then when we get silent and we just sit, no matter what happens, we always bounce back. We do, because we have to, whether it's for our children, whether it's for our partner. Sometimes we do it for ourselves. Oftentimes we're motivated to do it for others. But we do rise, sometimes it just takes longer than others, I think.
What do you do for yourself to bring you back to that space?
It's changed over the years. I think when I was younger, it was to go back to my parents' house and hang out with them for a weekend and just chill.
So nice.
Like in my 20s, that's what I would do. Then when I had the kids, honestly, it was just play. Like the joy I would find in just playing at the park or
Wow.
playing Thomas the Train or doing whatever.
Thomas the Train.
Right?
The tank.
You know?
Oh God. Oh my God. The
That's
years
it.
of that.
All the moms remember, but that actually filled my bucket and I know it wasn't the popular thing, because I can remember my friends being like, no, I want to go out and drink, and there's nothing wrong with that, or go party with my friends. But I think because I had kids later, I found a lot of joy in those moments, because I'd done all that in my 20s and then some. So in my 30s, I just wanted to be with the kids. Now, when I'm feeling stressed out, because I've only adopted this really since last December, meditation is really big. So I do that every day, sometimes twice a day, depending on what's going on. It's about a 29 or a 39-minute one that I do. I try to get 10,000 steps in a day. I'm finding that really helps. Just moving, get outside, and then drinking my water. Hydrated.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How much is that?
That is, what is it? It's a gallon. Honestly, I realized how dehydrated I actually was.
Yes.
I find that if I'm hydrated, it takes the fog away. And laughing, I think, just being silly, like that just is fun to me, just being ridiculous.
Because it's Wellness Wednesday,
yes.
we have to talk about wellness. And you talked about things changed for you last December.
Yeah.
You have been on a wellness journey, and very open about your wellness journey. It's very inspiring for so many people that you share what you've been going through, your ups, your downs, mostly you're really going forward with this journey and continuing on it, and not looking back, which I love, because even though there's ebbs and flows in wellness, you're about going forward. And I love that, because just so many people just give up and say, I've been doing this for 4 or 5 months and I've tried really hard and I don't care. It's not about weight. I just want to go back to drinking. I want to go back to staying up late. I don't care about how much water I drink or the vitamins I take. But you've said, no, I've changed my life.
Yeah. I think because I've seen how different it makes me feel. I think last December, I was in a really, listen, I've had anxiety since I was 25. That was my first anxiety attack. Then it went away for a few years, as anxiety does, and it doesn't come, and then it creeps up and it comes again. And last December, I mean, gosh, my dad was in long-term care with a rare brain disease. He got COVID, and we had to move him from a facility where they were ravaged with COVID. So we had to pull him out. He lived with my mom for a little bit until she just couldn't handle him. Got him into another long-term care. Then he got COVID. Then my brother had a massive heart attack. Then my mom has MS, so she was really struggling. Then pandemic was really in full swing. I had 2 kids at home, homeschooling. I was doing a show from my bedroom. Decided, almost launching a brand. Husband whose career is mostly, he's a director, so he's used to being out and doing things. That all came to a halt. So there was all these things, and my anxiety came back with a vengeance. And it was paralyzing. And I was like, and I knew enough about wellness that a lot of it has to do with anxiety, has to do with, good nutrition. It's checking the boxes: nutrition, hydration, fitness, meditation. It's the mindfulness stuff, right? So I found this woman named Suzanne Galuzzo, who is really all about getting your nutrition back on track.
She was on the DL.
She's great, right? It's so interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's all very logical stuff. There's no quick fix. You actually have to do the work. It's walking the walk. So that spoke to me. So I was like, I'm going to give this a go. And as I started to give that a go, and truthfully too, I also wasn't feeling very good in my body. I was like, I don't feel like me. I just wasn't feeling confident in my outfits weren't fitting the same, and we couldn't shop because it was COVID. And I just knew there was a whole bunch of stuff. So I started that journey. And as I started doing that, my anxiety started to dissipate, and I started to feel just less inflamed everywhere. And so I started to feel different mentally and physically. And I was like, I like this. I'm onto something. So I've kept with the meditation, and I've fallen off from time to time. But what I have found is when things get overly emotional with the situation with my dad in particular, I know how to just control it and to feel it, be in it, deal with it, because I'm in a better place. I wasn't before. I was all over the place. So now I've kind of brought everything back. Everything's calmed down. I'm feeling strong mentally and physically, so I can deal with the things. And
isn't that incredible? Isn't that incredible that when you take control of your nutrition, like really take control of your nutrition and take control of how much you move, because you don't really, most people don't realize how little they're moving. That's and it. How little they're moving outside, because we're Canadians and we hibernate for such a huge part of the year.
Yeah.
When you can get that control of it, your life can change, and you're doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's like becoming a professional sleeper. Taking your sleep hygiene seriously is so important. And I always heard people talk about it.
Oh, yes.
But, you know, having the blue light off, or at least put those blue light glasses on if you're on your phone, a couple hours before bed, same time to bed, same time to rise. And I also now wake up in the morning at like 6 before everybody else gets up, and I journal. I journal every morning. So it's manifestations and just thoughts and feelings, and it kind of sets the tone for my day.
Does it make you feel good?
Yeah, it does. Because I think amazing. We're so like the voice that you have in your head, the conversation, the way you speak to yourself really sets the tone for everything that we do. And if your first thought in the morning is, oh my gosh, it's cold outside, it's dark, it's this, it's you're listening to yourself. So the first words out of your mouth or into your mind should be, today's going to be a great day, or I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful that I'm healthy today. I'm grateful. I'm excited for what this day is going to be, because it sets that tone. So I found
it sets your intention.
Yeah, it's made a difference. I know it sounds hokey, but it works.
And you've said this out loud also, which I love. You don't love hardcore fitness. You find that challenging.
I hate it. I don't like it. I listen. It's so
hate it.
I don't like it. It's not fun. But I love the results. Like I love seeing my body be firm, tight, and strong. I pick up my kids. I can do it at ski, snowboard, wakeboard, whatever. But I don't love it. And I love, like, you're such a good worker outer. Like you're so good at it. I mean, you're very inspiring. When I see your stuff, I'm like, right, I gotta go to the gym.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Very inspiring. No, I think when women post about their fitness journey, and especially about their fitness, I don't think they realize truly how much that can inspire someone else.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So keep posting those, because
that's nice
to get up and get moving.
You know, I love Instagram for so many things. I hate it for so many things, but one of the things I love about is Wellness Wednesday. I love people posting about their wellness, because I've had 2 major wellness journeys in my life, like 2 times that I can say, this is what I'm on. And I would say both of them came from somewhat tragic experiences, or not nice experiences.
Of things that have happened because
because of one was a not very serious car accident, but a car accident in my university, and left me feeling terrible. So I needed to change things. Okay. And then the other time was after my divorce, where I wanted to be strong and healthy and take charge of my body and my life. I wanted everything back, and I haven't changed since then. And that was back in 2008. And so I've been on that journey since 2008, but I'm finding now, and tell me if you find this too, because I know it's just been since December, but I'm feeling like you're at a next level right now, because I can tell by the things you're saying. I feel like I'm about to embark on another chapter of my wellness journey. I feel it.
And what would that be? Like, what is it? What do you mean?
Don't know. I don't know what it's going to be.
Like
I just feel it coming.
What do you mean?
Say that again.
You're going to be a synchronized swimmer? Like, what do you mean?
No.
Like, what's happening?
Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be amazing. If I went to the Olympics or something at my age, it would be so great. No, I don't know. I don't know what it means. I just know that there's another level that I want to reach. I'm feeling the burn, that there's something I need to do to feel even better, because I know I can feel better. Maybe it's meditation. I've tried meditation, but I haven't done it well.
So I took a transcendental meditation course down in Toronto. It was like 2 years ago. And I found it really fascinating, but it is very difficult to get into that space. So, and this is not an ad, but I use the Breathe app, and there's yeah, okay. So I use the Breathe app, and there's Glenn Harold. He's out of Portugal. He has hypnotherapy on there.
Okay.
And they're so fantastic. And I do you need to try it. It's so good.
Okay. Because my phone will go off in about 20 minutes and tell me to inhale, exhale.
Okay, good. But try a 30-minute Glenn Harold, life-changing, telling you.
Okay. So that's one of the things that's on my list of wellness, but I've just been thinking about the different levels of where I want to go.
Nice.
And it's not about, I say this out loud all the time, it's not about skinny. It's not about skinny. And people don't understand that. Really, for women, when you reach a certain age and your kids get to a certain stage, it's not about skinny. For me, it's about health, and it's about strength and how I feel. That's the vibe I get from you. You also look sensational. So that's also been very great for you, I guess, being on this journey. But I get that vibe from you. That's why I connect to you, or I feel connected, because I love watching your stuff, because it's about the health too. It's not just about the glamour and how things look. Listen, we all love that. We all love to say, look at the dress I'm in. Doesn't it look great on me? Fabulous. It's because I've done 5,000 squats this week. But
nightmare.
Not a word of a lie. But you know, it's about, I actually feel great.
I think do I want to feel good? And everyone has their own benchmark of where they feel they're best, and no one's will be the same as someone else's.
Right.
And I think if you just stay focused on what you want to do and what you want to achieve, that's all that matters. And I think women are really hard on each other, especially after we have babies. And terrible. There's no right or wrong. It's just whatever works for you. If you are a fitness fanatic and you've got that 6-pack abs and you're crushing it, show that off on Instagram. You're inspiring. You're doing you. That's fantastic. If you're a person who is not, that is also amazing. And you're on your own journey, and that's fantastic. So I think there's room for everybody in all places. But skinny doesn't mean healthy.
I agree. Not at all.
So
not at all.
Maybe you're going to get into biohacking. Have you ever looked into that?
I love Dave Asprey. He was on the DL also.
I know. I was so excited when I saw that.
I'm a huge follower. I have a couple biohacks myself.
Well, me too. What did you get?
Well, I've been doing the MCT coconut oil for a very long time. Like, it was before it became a big thing. I didn't love, I have to say, the ghee butter. I liked it for a bit, but not so much. And for sure, I've been into turmeric and cayenne pepper and ginger, that mix. I've been doing that for a very long time because I have a very weird digestion issue. And it really helped. Like, it helps me eat, and it helps me feel better when I have that in the morning. Why, you have a good one? You have a good biohack?
Red light therapy. Have you seen those red lamps, the lights? I lay down in my bed and I have it right over my head. I'll do a post today for you about it. It's really good for you. Look into red LED. Dave talks about it all the time. He's got a panel in his house that he stands in front of. Yeah,
I know. He talked about it.
Higher Dose has an infrared sauna, which is a really good biohacking thing for your body. So I bought that sleeping bag.
Oh, you did?
I did. Yeah, I'll post about that again for you if you want. It's ridiculous, and I love it. What else do? I do a lot of things. I see.
You know what? Speaking of sleeping bag, this is a good segue to Cheryl's home and family, because Last year I said to you, I'm going to buy a weighted blanket, and I didn't. And I want to tell you why I didn't, because in that week, my husband's cousin gave me one. She gave it was a gift to her. She didn't want it and she gave it to me. She said, I don't like it. It feels like someone's lying on top of me.
Oh, I love it. Do you love it? Do you love your weighted blanket?
Yeah, it feels like someone's lying on top of me.
Yeah.
What can be bad about that? I don't know about you, but this is a good sub for when I need it. So that was great. So I love it. You have beautiful products. Beautiful products. Why did you start Cheryl's Home and Family?
Because my son has a big head. No, that's legitimately how it kind of started. So when I had Jackson, he was laying on my arm and he had a really big bean. And I was like, this cannot be comfortable. Like, who wants to lay on that? Nobody. So I kept wrapping my arms in blankets and I was like, well, this is not time efficient. This is ridiculous. So I drew up this thing and I sent it to my seamstress. And I was like, can you make this for me? And she did. And I used it for a long time. And I was like, one day I'm going to make this, or I'm going to figure this out. There's different variations of it out there in the world, because I'm not the first person to think of something like that. But so, but we attached a blanket to it and made it lush and glorious. And it's great for breastfeeding. It's great for bottle feeding. And so I tested it in the market for 2 years. It did really well. And then I found some business partners and we launched, we were planning to launch, and then all of a sudden the pandemic hit. Mm-hmm. And we launched anyway. And we have I'm Here For You. We have I'm Here For You Too, which is a blanket with a blanket with a big pocket in the front. It drapes over your legs. So it's really great for kids, teens, and really seniors in a wheelchair when their legs and extremities get cold. So if you have anyone in your life who is in a wheelchair, it's a really great gift. Really great gift. And then we have our weighted blankets that are, really great for stress, anxiety, trouble staying asleep. And really, it's kind of, we're in the comfort game. We're in the game of comfort. We just want to comfort people and make you feel good. And that's sort of the whole point.
How do you have time to do all this?
Not that I've been diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I have. Like, I'm the person who I'll walk over here to put the cup down. And then I'll notice that my phone's there and pick that up and I'll start doing an email. And then I'll walk over here and I'll grab that and notice that needs to. So I'm always kind of doing more than one thing at a time. And I got in trouble for that a lot in school, but I've actually made it work for me as an adult. So I don't know if that's is that ADHD, is that, I don't know, but whatever it is, sometimes it's really helpful and then other times it's not. But I try to make it helpful for me.
Can you tell me what you and Dr. Wild are talking about tonight on your Instagram, and tell everybody about that and where they can find you? Yeah, go for it. Tell me. Yeah.
Okay. So Bryce and I love to talk about vitamins, and we love to talk. I'll text him a picture of a vitamin and be like, should I take this? Should I? So we thought we'd bring the conversation to Instagram. So we do it every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern. Today, we're talking about brain disease because there's a great campaign that I'm a part of for Baycrest. It's called Fear No Age, and it's to help raise awareness about dementia and raise funds. My dad has a rare brain disease that has caused dementia. So it's something near and dear to my heart. Bryce also has brain disease in his family with Alzheimer's and dementia. And just the more we talk about it, we realize that there's a lot of people whose family members are struck with all sorts of different brain diseases. So talking about brain disease or brain issues is still sort of feels taboo. Like people just don't want to talk about it. If you have an injured knee, you take an x-ray of it, you talk about it, and people are a little bit more shy to talk about something with the brain. So we want to have a really open conversation about how to also keep your brain healthy. There are things that we can do in our 30s that will help us down the line. We talk about sleep, hydration, getting outside, supplementations of omegas, L-theanine. There's certain things that we can take. So we want to talk about all those things tonight and talk about what we can do to keep our brains healthy and potentially some things we can take.
And where can people find you? Because I know people are
Sorry, Instagram, just Cheryl Hickey.
And is that that's your social channel? Would you say
Yes.
Instagram mostly? Yes.
We're thinking about taking it over to TikTok also, but we haven't gotten there yet.
Because yourself and your co-hosts were on Facebook Live the other day.
Yeah. So ET Canada decided to do an all ladies version of ET Canada Live, and we've done it twice now, and it's been a hoot. It's fun. We don't really plan what we're going to talk about.
It was a hoot the other day.
Yeah, it was good.
It's like, whoa, I didn't know, like there was some good stuff that came out of that conversation. I just love when women chat. I just think there's always something, there's a takeaway, and there's always something from every conversation.
See more women supporting women. I know we say it all the time, but for some reason it gets more play when women are not supporting women. And I don't know. And you know this, the beautiful thing about our industry here in Toronto is a lot of women do support each other.
Yeah, I would say so.
You know, and women want to see women win and do well. And I think we need to talk about that more, you know, and support each other in our initiatives, like your podcast and all the shows that you're doing. And those are the things that we need to talk about and you know, pick each other up.
That's nice of you, Cheryl. Thank you. That's kind. I appreciate that a lot. And I have loved chatting with you so much.
Hey, can we just discuss something though when we talk about sharing?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps. It's November, which means velour is in.
Oh,
I got this jumpsuit. We talked about it before, and I think we need to talk about it again. I got this jumpsuit, okay, for $19 online.
Look at you. Oh my God.
Okay.
Look at you.
I'm going to send you the link.
Okay.
A good online shopping at nighttime.
That's how I fall asleep.
There we go. That's the promo for this.
Look at you. I'm so happy for you. You make me smile all the time.
Purchase? Because I found a good purchase.
No, I love your purchase, but you make me smile. Like that just made me smile.
You're the sweetest.
You make me smile. And that was sensational. I would love to find something for $19.99. Anything for $19.99. Although I will share this. I get fabulous, fabulous jewelry. Are you ready? Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Shoppers Drug Mart, Joe Fresh. I buy the most amazing earrings, and every time I wear a pair, I'm stopped. Where'd you get those? And people will name various designers. I'm like, no, that's not. And then they keep out like they're elevating, then it's getting higher and more expensive. I'm like, no, that's not it at all. These were actually gifts. These were birthday gifts. So these weren't from Joe Fresh. And no, this is not an advertisement. I've never spoken to anybody there. I don't know anybody at Joe Fresh.
I just had a business idea. I think that you should approach Joe Fresh and you should have your own jewelry line with them.
Oh, sure.
Like a collab, like Roxy does for the holiday, like Sasha does for the fitness, and you could do glamorous jewelry.
You're such an entrepreneur. That's a great idea.
We need to call them right now.
Okay, let's do it. Let's call them right now.
Okay.
Can I work out while I'm wearing my jewelry? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, you can.
No, I'm kidding with you. I wouldn't do that. Oh, maybe I would actually.
Yeah, you would. Your diamond studs in?
Yeah. Anything for that. Thank you so much for being here today. I love it. Everyone, follow Cheryl at Cheryl Hickey. You will not be sorry. It will lift you up. It'll put you in an amazing mood. And of course, you can see her on ET Canada every night. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Feel good. Be well. My love to you and your family.
Yes, right back at you. Kiss that puppy for me.
And you too.